Hey guys, Susan here. This video is to talk a little bit about the rectus diastasis and how it deals with your alignment, or how your alignment affects a rectus diastasis. Hopefully you've read some of the information and looked over the anatomy of what we are kind of talking about here, so you have a little bit of background. But essentially what I want to talk about is how the split between your abdominals is not necessarily a weakness issue. Yes, there is probably some core instability through there, but at the end of the day, why we're still having issues with a weakness or that bulge that we're looking at is not a weakness issue. It is mostly dealing with alignment, and that is a huge thing that I see with my patients and my clients that I deal with on a regular basis. They're always asking me, well, how do I get rid of the bulge? What exercise can I do to strengthen that? And honestly, what I have to say is there's not an exercise. It's a postural alignment issue. So when we get down to the meat and potatoes of it, it's how you're standing, how you're moving, and how you're functioning in your daily life, not those exercises that you're doing for an hour 3 times a week. So with that being said, I want to just look at what normal anatomy should look like, a normal alignment should look like, and then show you where we kind of tend to stand in general, especially during pregnancy and even after pregnancy. And then last, look at how we can address that and get you into better alignment on a daily basis. So if we're looking at that, we're going to stand, and you're just going to stand up nice and tall, and we're looking from the head all the way down. So if you're standing here, you should be in a nice rib cage right over pelvis position. What we tend to see, especially during pregnancy, is that butt tends to stick out, the rib cage tends to pop out, and then you have your belly, which kind of brings your center of gravity forward. To address this, even during pregnancy, there's just 3 tips that I want you to think about. So if we're here and we start from the bottom, if we just slightly lift the pubic bone up, that will drop the hips slightly from the back side and just bring the pelvis in a little bit of a more neutral position. So big thing with this, I don't want you to tuck the pelvis under. This is not a pelvic tuck. You're not clenching the glutes, and you're not going to be in this position here. But if we're here, we're just slightly lifting the pubic bone up, okay? Next, what we tend to see if we look at the rib cage, when we're here, it's that rib cage is flared up and the back of the rib cage is pushing up this way. So this is accentuated, but you can kind of see how my plane is now facing up this way. What you want to think about is bringing this rib cage down so your playing field is level with the ground. And you can see how naturally these 2 phenomenons will happen together. So if we're here and we bring rib cage down, the pelvis tends to slightly tuck up. So if we're kind of in the opposite direction, sometimes you find that we're more hunched over, that pelvis is too far tucked under, then what you can do, you're still going to bring the rib cage down, because the rib cage still tends to be up a little bit. Bring the rib cage down, and that will slightly untuck. It's interesting how it works that way. But basically what you're thinking about is you want that rib cage to be stacked right over the pelvis, okay? And that gets everything in a nice line to allow for the movement to go up and down very easily, okay? The last thing you want to think about is I'm going to be facing forward. This is where we tend to live. It's just a natural postural phenomenon, but we tend to be out forward. So what I want you to think about doing is tucking that chin back and getting it in line right over the shoulders. So now we have the rib cage down, everything is parallel, the pelvis is slightly tucked up, not a clench in the glutes though. So everything is nice and light through here, and you chuck your chin. And so now you can see how everything is in a good alignment straight down, okay? So we kind of come from here to here, or from here to here. Everything kind of aligns right through there. So I hope that helped just kind of see where your alignment is. If you still have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Otherwise, have a great day.